Day 1 of the NFL Draft is behind us, and the Arizona Cardinals are winners of the night. Coming in with the number 4 and number 27 picks, rumors of trading down or trading up were flying around, much to the displeasure of fans. After all, if a prospect is compared to the greatest player in franchise history, of course the fan base is going to want him. And after months of lead up, the fan base can finally exhale. The line has been held, and the Cardinals have drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., a two-time ununanimous All-American, reigning Biletnikoff Award winner, son of a Hall of Famer. I could go on for hours. You know the resume by now, but let me explain what player the Arizona Cardinals are getting. He's a big game player who has elevated on several occasions. In fact, his first career start at Ohio State came in the 2022 Rose Bowl. In that game, he would record 6 catches, 3 of which were touchdowns, totaling 71 yards receiving. His sophomore season came with high expectations. 77 total catches for 1,263 yards and a whopping 14 touchdowns in 13 games. In a pivotal game against Georgia in the Peach Bowl, Harrison would catch 5 passes, including 2 touchdowns, for 106 yards, all in the first half. Unfortunately, Marv would get hurt in the third quarter after suffering a concussion, and would leave the game. At the time of the injury, the Buckeyes led 35-24. However, without Marv on the other side, the Bulldogs mounted a comeback and won 42-41. Ending Ohio State's season. The ensuing offseason at CJ Stroud's Pro Day, it was Marvin Harrison Jr. catching for the top prospect. And he put on a show in what would end up technically being Marvin's Pro Day as well, just a year early. 2023 was the year of Marvin Harrison Jr., no longer behind Jackson Smith-Njigba, and now reunited with his high school quarterback Kyle McCord. 1,200 yards and another 14 touchdowns later, the Fred Biletnikoff Award was his. Harrison was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy as well, however, he was a runner-up. After a prolific season, he would declare for the NFL Draft. Foregoing the Combine and Ohio State's Pro Day, instead, he would follow his father's advice and prepare for the season as if he was already in the NFL, and would do the same regiments that veteran players do throughout the offseason. During the course of the season, Cardinals fans were keeping an eye on Ohio State games, myself included. As a Canadian, I have never watched college football until this season. I made it a priority to watch as many Ohio State games as I could, and I was so impressed by Harrison. The comparison to Larry Fitzgerald is inevitable. You don't want to crown the kid as soon as he was drafted. However, you do have to remember he is the son of a Hall of Famer, and he's lived up to the expectations at every level. If his name was Joe Smith, he would still be a top prospect in this draft class. The name bias aside, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a generational prospect, and I can't believe that it's real that the Arizona Cardinals finally got him. After months of waiting, we can finally say it. Welcome to the Bird Gang, Marvin Harrison Jr. And thank you, Matt Prater. Pick 27 was where Monti had the chance to cook. As the chips fell, it was clear that Arizona would have their choice of a few great players, either an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, or cornerback. It ended up being D-line. Darius Robinson out of Missouri is a great fit, who gives the team some really dynamic versatility, beginning his college career as a defensive tackle, then switching to edge rusher last season where he had great success. He possesses powerful hands, great arm length, and has quick change of direction. Knowing that he can play both outside and in gives the Cardinals the perfect addition. Also worth noting that he was a team captain in college and a great person off the field with his own foundation already. He is exactly the culture that Monti and Jonathan Gannon are continuing to build in the desert. Defensive line was a position of need for sure. We saw how bad the run game got beat up last year, and yes, we did address it in free agency with the additions of Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones. However, I don't think it's enough, and I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona adds even more on day 2 and 3. It's also still unclear where Robinson will play for the Cardinals this season. He tallied 112 tackles and 13 sacks in college and will certainly help fill that void on defensive line. I could not be happier with the work for the Arizona Cardinals front office today, staying put at 4 and getting their guy despite all the pressure of trading down and the rumors that sent Cardinals fans, myself included, into a frenzy for months, and now being able to get Marvin Harrison Jr., and then also being able to draft for need and getting among one of the best players available at 27. I'm excited to see what the rest of the weekend brings, and I will have a complete draft recap once the class is finished. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how happy you are we got Marvin Harrison Jr. in the desert. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.